Tonight's headlines. Strip club owner Peter Stringfellow has suggested he could stand against Deputy Prime Minister Nick Clegg in the general election due to be held in 2015. Stringfellow suggests his participation in the 2015 general election would see attendances at polling stations soar. A Home Office Select Committee report has found that the police watchdog, the IPCC, is woefully underfunded. After a review of the resources at its disposal, the report found the Commission neither had a watch nor a dog. Zimbabwe's Finance Minister, Tendai Biti, has admitted that the country has only £138.34 left in the bank. He puts the blame on projects involving a wealthy industrialist and a share of a Nigerian national lottery win that has yet to materialise. Good evening, I'm Dave Storey, welcome to Newsleak. Changes to the Life in the UK citizenship test, which must be taken by all migrants wanting to settle permanently in Britain, have been unveiled. The Home Office said the revised exam will focus on topics such as sport, music and key historical facts. Sampling questions include: explain the entertainment element in ITV's Splash programme. Who was best, Blur or Oasis? Why do cars have left indicator lights? Is there any hole in the road that a bucket of tarmac cannot fix? And finally, after the removal of holidays, closure to bad weather, strikes and teacher training, on average, how many days do children attend school? To the nearest whole number. Detective Chief Inspector April Casburn has been jailed for 15 months after it was revealed she offered to sell inside information to the News of the World. In the continuing witch hunt against the now defunct Sunday newspaper, 30 people have also been arrested for sending in solutions to crossword number 56, while a further 8,000 are to be considered for prosecution, charged with conspiracy to play bingo. The Scottish Government has agreed to change the wording of its independence referendum question after concerns it may lead people to vote yes. The wording of the question will be altered to, should Scotland be an independent country? The original question was worded, is the opposite of your answer to the question, should Scotland be an independent country, not negative? An ex-RAF base has been put on eBay with a £2.5 million price tag. The former RAF station at Neatishead in Norfolk, which was used as a radar base during the Cold War, comes complete with its own helipad and an underground bunker. When questioned as to whether it would prove to be a security risk if its ownership fell into the wrong hands, the Ministry of Defence replied, "We've considered that eventuality and have prevented it happening by blocking any bidders with less than 25 feedback." Prince Charles and Camilla took a journey on the tube this week to celebrate the transport system's 150th anniversary. The couple travelled from Farringdon to King's Cross, and to get the full journey experience, Charles was relieved of his coat, wallet and mobile phone by another drunken passenger. Ollie Murs has reportedly quit the Extra Factor, and Rylan Clark is already lining himself up as his replacement. As we can see from the chart, the programme's popularity has wavered recently, and with the Rylan Clark rumour, well, you get the picture. British burgers could have been contaminated with horse meat for more than a year, it emerged yesterday. Speaking to the FSA, Newsleak actually discovered that the filler from Poland containing beef and horse meat could have actually been in use for donkey's years. One Direction have revealed their mums have told them to slow down on getting so many tattoos. Newsleak performed a survey of the UK and the majority of the population said the band should slow down on releasing so many songs. David Cameron has announced a referendum on Europe asking the public if Britain should leave the EU. Opposition for leaving has already been voiced by Greece, citing that they can't afford to buy a leaving card. Continuing with the EU theme, we now have a report from our political correspondent, Paul Hennell. Over to you, Paul.
Thanks, Dave. I'm here at Europe, where David Cameron's commitment to an EU referendum has been met with a deafening apathy. Cameron has said he'll open the doors to the British to personally accept the invasion of Europe on our British ideals, or vote to leave, putting Europe without its key driving influence. For years, Europe has been ruling Britain with an iron fist, labelling sausages das Frankenfurten offen Holzenden Tubenfat, and demanding we tolerate their rules, insisting even the French have human rights. But finally, Cameron has said enough is enough, and he won't compromise, and has told Europe we will vote whether we want to stay or leave, unless they compromise with us and let us only sign up to the things we like. No one knows how well this plan will work, of course, because the end result will be up to the well-informed, educated and big-picture thinkers of Europe, the British public. Because as David Cameron is asking us, should we stay in or out? This is Paul Hennell for Newsleak.
Thanks for that, Paul. The EU question isn't David Cameron's only problem. Earlier this week, he was at the centre of another storm after he was accused of using the F word in response to an SNP rival. The MP involved, Angus Robertson, brushed it off, commenting on how Mr Cameron is renowned for letting things slip by mistake recently. We tried to contact Nancy for her views, but she was nowhere to be found. Downton Abbey star Brendan Coyle has turned the air blue on Twitter by replying to a fan's message with the phrase, "Go f*** yourself." The disappointed fan commented, "He could have at least phrased it, go fuck yourself, dear." Sir Elton John proudly shows off his new baby son Elijah. In an interview with Hello magazine, the world-famous musician, without a top hit since 2005, commented, "I never thought I'd see another #1 again, or a #2 for that matter." Doctors have claimed the real cause of Britain's high cancer death rate is due to stiff upper lips rather than testicle or cervical cancer, due to their reluctance to talk about move on. The boss of Electronic Arts has denied there is any link between video game content and actual violence. John Riccitiello spoke out on the subject during a conference with bank analysts following his firm's latest earnings forecast, but he acknowledged that the industry did face a perception problem, and if anyone didn't like it, they know where to come. Excuse me. Well, that's it for another show. Don't forget to send your news stories and one-liners into the show at the email address in the end credits. I've been Dave Storey. You've been watching Newsleak. Good night.